thought I'd look at Damocles Mission, a game that appeared in Ares Magazine number 13. It apparently was developed by SPI when they were transitioning. There was some transition to TSR at that time, so I've listed it as both a SPI and TSR game, but the copyright is TSR from 1983. It's a solitaire game. It's a paragraph mission kind of game. The artwork shows some kind of mysterious artifact here they're checking out. Credits: game design development, Jerry King; physical systems and graphics, Redmond A. Simonson, Ted Kohler. There's more background for this in the full magazine, but I'll go with what background is here in the game. Prologue: in May of 1988, an amateur astronomer detected what he thought was a comet between Jupiter and Mars, moving toward the Sun. Within a few weeks, this original sighting was creating furor, for no tails detected on the comet. As larger telescopes were trained the object, it soon became clear that this was in reality some artificial satellite entering the solar system. They were competing against the Soviet Union to get there to check them out, and against the Europeans. But NASA won the race to visit the artifact. Within 2 months of the object's arrival, the Space Shuttle Discovery was on its way to investigate, containing a mixed group of astronauts and scientists, plus sufficient supplies and scientific equipment for the extended mission. The shuttle held all mankind's hopes and fears of what might be the first contact with an alien race. The Damocles Mission game is a solitaire adventure which places the player first in the position of mission planners at NASA as they organize the mission. After Space Shuttle Discovery and her crew rendezvous with the artifact, the player then assumes the role of the crew itself as it begins to explore and experience the first alien contact. Going through the components, first of all the rule book. There's 9 pages of rules, and then there's about 6 pages of information messages. And in the back you have the mission sheet, which you copy off when you play, where you can put the member and the equipment they're carrying, the trip number, the number of days available, number of members present in the mission, mark off the days remaining in the mission, information points, no information, tile numbers, alien artifacts discovered, and notes. The game has good quantity of counters and what they call tiles, and the game doesn't have a map. Instead of having a map, you discover what the different tiles do. The artifact is represented by these tiles, which have various functions, and these define what the alien artifact is. The game goes by them investigating the tiles. Tiles represent various systems inside the alien artifact that the team will encounter. As the team investigates the tiles, they will gain information concerning the purpose and origin of the artifact and discover whether the tiles are on or off. The on or off status of each tile is examined at the end of the game to determine the level of victory. So here's tiles here. You have the tile number, the tile symbol, activation range, equipment type markers, backfire indicator, information message numbers, of course ties to the information message sentences. And the back side of these, you get before you discover what they are, these are the investigation chances on the face down tile before it's been further discovered. There's 3 different types of tiles. There's control tiles, which are represented by that symbol, artificial intelligence tiles represented by that symbol, and power tiles. Control tiles represent various subsystems in this artifact which allow the team to alter the the status of other tiles, to alter the status of entire sections, or even ultimately affect the artifact as a whole. Artificial intelligence tiles, they represent various subsystems of the artifact related to the processing and collecting of information. While on, they may attempt to do any number of things, from examining the team to attempting to communicate with them. Power tiles, they represent various subsystems of the artifact related to power sources of different kinds. While on, they will be a constant source of danger unless shut off. Of course, some systems in the artifact need power to operate, and some power tiles must be on for victory purposes. And then notice the different colors. There's the tile color of white, yellow, and green. Tile color separates the tiles into 3 groupings. And then the symbol color tiles you see is red, blue, or green. The symbol color ties together different subsystems within the same section. The equipment type marker is used to identify and record using the equipment identity markers which type of equipment was used to investigate the tile last. The success range has 2 numbers. When tiles investigated, the player throws 2 dice. Again, basically the 1s and 10s on the 2 6-sided dice. If the result is within the success range, you'll be able to gain information about the tile by referring to the information message. If its dice result is less than the success range, the investigation results in a backfire. The activated range consists of 2 numbers. Once the player has turned on a control tile, may attempt to activate it by rolling 2 dice. If the result is within the range, the tile is activated, may be used to alter the status of other tiles. If the result is ever less than the range, the tile turns permanently off for the remainder of the game. Information message numbers identify which message must be read after successful investigation or a backfire. And on the back side, the tile is face down before the tiles are further discovered. The investigation chance on the face down tile is a number which the player must roll less than or equal to on 2 dice before the tile can be turned over and the investigation continued. Since it's a magazine game, there's no dice, but I just used a couple of dice. You only need a couple of them, and they advise you use one of a different color than the other. For a lot of events, you just roll 1 dice to randomize, but on a couple of them, you'll do 1 dice and then the other. And the first one is effectively the 10s, and the other is the 1s, so that would be 55, for instance. Then the counters are 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch. Some have 2-sided, some don't. You have the team counter and the shuttle counter. Discovery counter is placed in or adjacent to the first tile which is investigated. Team counters move throughout the artifact as they explore it. Then you have the team members, where you have the name and the profession and image. The front side is the undamaged side, and the back side is the incapacitated side. And you choose which mix of these to use during the mission. The astronaut is needed to fly the shuttle to and from Earth, may attempt to repair damaged electronic equipment. Information messages may require his presence, usually required in attempts to make use of the artifact. And at least 2 astronauts must be taking the pilot's shuttle in each mission. Astronauts aren't considered scientists, it's for them. Engineer subtracts 6 from any investigation or activation dice rolls involving a known control tile. This subtraction may not cause a successful roll to become a backfire. A backfire is a negative consequence of a failed investigation. May attempt to repair damaged electronic equipment, and may be called into play during investigation through messages. Biologist, possibly called into play through the information messages. Astronomer, possibly called into play through the information messages, which are things you discover while you're checking out the artifact. Physicist subtracts 8 from any investigation dice roll on a known power tile. This subtraction may not cause a successful roll to become a backfire, may be called into play through the information messages. And the physicist specializes in high energy propulsion systems. Then a semanticist is a scientist specializing in symbols, words, and language. Subtracts 2 from any investigation dice roll on a face down tile while using vision equipment. This subtraction may not cause a successful roll to become a backfire, possibly called into play through information messages. And each member of the crew can only carry 1 piece of equipment, and some of the equipment may only be used by individuals skilled to interpret data. So they can bring as many pieces of equipment as there are members of the team. There's mechanical equipment, which is vision and tools, and then there's electronic equipment, which is the others. For the vision equipment, this involves various light sources, other hands-on equipment which will not damage the item being examined. This may be used by anyone and must be taken along by the team. Simple tools, Cutting tools, hammers, torches, and so forth designed to break into the item being examined. Only an astronaut may use simple tools. Then the electronic equipment. Infrared, used to detect infrared radiations. Anyone may use this. Geiger, used to measure radioactivity. Only a physicist or astronaut may use a Geiger counter. Recording equipment. Anyone may use this. Helps you remember messages. Magnetometer. Used to measure the strength of a magnetic field. Only an astronaut may use the magnetometer. Ohmmeter. Used to measure electrical activity. Anyone may use this equipment. Pyrometer. Used to measure heat radiation in small electronic equipment. Only an astronaut or engineer may use it. Then radio receiver. Anyone may use this. And the flip side of the equipment, counters is used if it's damaged. The equipment identity markers are placed on a tile that has been investigated to record the results of the information, on or off, and which piece of equipment was used to perform that investigation. These are the equipment identity markers. One side is green, the other side is yellow. Equipment identity markers are placed on a tile that has been investigated to record the results of that information, on or off, and which piece of equipment was used to perform that investigation. The front side, the green side indicates the tile is on. The back yellow side indicates the tile is off. The marker is placed on top of the tile and left there. Any backfire results are also indicated by using the markers with a B printed on them. Green side indicates the tile is on, yellow side off. The activated markers, so one side is activated, the other is a danger marker. The activated markers are placed on any control tile which is on and eligible to be used to activate other tiles in the same section of the artifact. The danger markers are placed on any tile which the investigation message reveals may contain danger, or is a marker of the player's devising, reminding him of the damage to be taken when the team enters the tile. Then there's accessway markers, shown here. They have a numbered side and a blank side. When game set up, they're shuffled and placed blank side up, blank surface to one side or the other. Whenever an accessory is discovered, one of these tiles is selected at random, flipped over to reveal its numbered side and appropriately placed. The impassable markers, so on one side is impassable, the other is permanent off. The impassable markers are used to note those tiles which are impassable, as noted in the information messages. The permanently off markers are used to note those tiles which, either through information messages or through team error, have been rendered permanently off for the remainder of the game. Sequence of play. The game ends whenever the player has the team return to the shuttle with the intention of traveling back to Earth or runs out of days, whichever occurs first. Step 1. The team may now investigate any face-down tile to which they are adjacent, except a tile that the team has just left. Step 2. The team now discovers the results of their successful investigation of the tile. Step 3. The team may attempt another investigation of the tile. Step 4. The team must move onto any tile which is adjacent to the accessway counter it now occupies. Step 5. The team may now try to activate a control tile. Step 6. The player may now attempt to have a team member who is incapacitated recover from his wounds. Step 7. The player may now attempt to fix any damaged electronic equipment. Step 8. The player may now reallocate the pieces of equipment among the team members. Step 9. The player now checks to see if any accessways have closed. Step 10. If the team may now attempt to find accessways leading out of the tile they occupy. Once step 10 is completed, the player returns to step 1 and continues through the sequence of play again. Doing setup here. First of all, you take 12 of each of the different colors. You have them face down. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Set the others aside. That's the tiles to be used in play. Then you take one of each of the colors. Then you randomly mix them up and draw one of those. And this will be the starting tile. These other two we put back in the piles. Set up the mission sheet by selecting the team members and equipment carried. I'm going to have 5 members. So you take 200 divided by 5, so that'll be 40 days available for the mission. You have to have 2 astronauts. I'm going to have 2 astronauts, and only astronauts can use tools, so 1 astronaut will have a tool. Also going to bring an engineer, semanticist, and a physicist. And for equipment, you need to bring with the vision equipment. And the semanticist gets a bonus using the vision equipment, so I'll have him carrying the vision equipment. I'll have the physicist with the ohmmeter, engineer with the radio, and then the other astronaut with the infrared. Then you mark off 1 day, so we've marked off the 40th day here. We got 39 left. Then you set the team members and the shuttle Discovery next to the first tile. And then you put all the access way markers blank side up next to the playing area. Then you get into play. Starting the first turn here. It's an unknown tile. Can do vision, infrared, or magnetometer. And they have vision infrared. The semanticist gets subtracts 2 when using a vision unknown tile, so he'll do the vision. And need a 56. I'll use reds as the 10s. 15, successful. Flip it over. Vision, it's successful from 22 to 56, but it's a backfire if it's under 22. With the -2, it's 13, so there is a backfire. And to backfire, you go to 144. Backfire 144. The investigating member gets his foot entangled in the fine mesh covering the floor. He's not injured, but all red tiles in the section are turned off immediately. Treat this tile as on. This is a red tile, but it says to treat this tile as on, so I'll do that. And you indicate it's on by putting the green marker and then say what was used to investigate it, and vision was used, which is number 1. And now we'll look for access ways. And this is an artificial intelligence tile, so you need a 26 or less. And every time you get doubles, a day passes. They do find a access way with a 13. And you put it here. You can have up to 3 access ways. Team was on this tile, and that was all the setup and all that was the first turn. And now when they enter access way, that costs a turn, which is a day. Then you draw one from the green section tiles. Go with this one. So you can do a vision, pyrometer, ohmmeter, and I have the ohmmeter and vision. I think the vision's got a good chance of backfiring, so I'm going to try the ohmmeter. Needs a 36 or less. Made it. With a 24. No backfire, so they got lucky there. Check out paragraph 180. 180. There's no electrical activity in the glowing wall ahead. No information of any kind is gained. Treat this tile as off. So we put a 3 there since the ohmmeter was used, but we have to treat the tiles off so the yellow side is up. But since no information was gained, we can do a second attempt. And now we know what the backfire is, so it's 32 or less. Willing to take that chance with a vision. And the semanticist gets a -2 on that. 45, so that would be a 43 and falls in the range. Checks out paragraph 38. 38, the walls, ceilings, and floor ahead are opaque and glow dimly. Treat this tile as off. So since the last success was with a vision meter, it's here, but the tile's off, so it's on the yellow side. Put the team on there. And it's a control tile, but it's unclear to me why it doesn't have an activation range on it. But I'll just keep going. No crew to heal, no equipment to fix, no equipment to move around. Then we'll see if this access way closes, if they roll a 65 or greater. Doesn't close. I'll search for an access way. Since it's a control tile, you need a 36 or less. And my understanding is you can keep rolling till you find one, but if you get doubles, then a day passes. And you can have up to 3 access ways from a tile. 36 or less. Yeah, got lucky. Found another access way. Draw one randomly. Then as they move on to there, a day passes, you mark that off. Draw another tile from the green section. In here it's a vision, magnetometer, or tools. I'll try tools. Needs a 33 or less. The astronaut's doing that. 26 was successful. Flip it over. And he was within the range of 22 to 33, so he doesn't get a backfire. Go to 102. Kind of a long one. The team tries cutting one of the many spheres floating in the chamber. The section causes the spheres to congeal together. A reverberation rumbles through the artifact, which can be felt through the team's suits. All green power tiles in the section turn on, and one of the walls in the chamber dissolves. The team is now able to investigate a new section of the artifact, if they wish. Gain 2 information points. If it is beyond day 30, the team spends 1 extra day in this tile discussing the alternatives before moving on. Treat this tile as on. So it's good. There are no green power tiles to activate, but it did turn on, and I'll put a 3 turn on side here to indicate tools was the last one to investigate it. It says I can investigate a new section. No crew to heal, no equipment to fix, no equipment to move around. Then we'll see if this access way closes if they roll a 56 or greater. Nope. And then a wall dissolves. I'm going to assume that there's an access way between that and the new section. It doesn't say that specifically, but it seems to make sense. So I'll put an access way here where the wall dissolves. And then I can start a yellow one over here. I'll move the team here, which costs a day. And since they're going to be investigating that new section from the description, they'll get 2 information points. Now since they can do a yellow, they're going to do the next section, they'll choose one from the yellow side, which is vision, ohmmeter, or tools. They'll go ahead and do a vision with a semanticist. -26, and then -2 with his bonus, so it's 24. And flip it over. It's artificial intelligence. They got lucky, they didn't get a backfire again. Getting kind of lucky there. Check out paragraph 16. The team sees round, soft yellow, amoeba-like extensions lining the wall of the chamber. As they flash light on one of the extensions, other extensions in the wall turn toward them and scan them with light. No harm is done, and after a few moments, the extensions shut off. Treat this tile as on. So this tile is turned on, and they used vision to investigate it. So put an on status with a 1 indicator on it there. Then I'll move the team members here. For an intelligence tile, you need a 26 or less to find an access way. Nope. Got doubles. Since I got doubles, the day passes. So 5 days have elapsed now. Keep checking. Nope. So I got less than 26, so they do find an access way. Take one randomly. Put the team here. And a day passes since they entered a new access way. And now they're in the yellow section, so I take another yellow tile. Vision, radio, or Geiger. They'll try vision with a semanticist. So he needs 61 or less, but then he gets the -2 on that as well. So he gets a 22 -1, although since he rolled doubles, the day passes again. But he did get a 22 -3, which is 19, so he is successful in the vision. But unfortunately, since he got 19, it's less than the 22, so he sees a backfire. And the backfire is in paragraph 22. For the backfire, the team has torn a fine webbing covering the floor. The tile is considered off unless there is any red power tile on in the artifact, in which case 232. And there is no red power tile that's on. So this tile is considered off. So they used one to investigate it, but it's off. No crew to heal, no equipment to fix, no moving equipment around. And then they see if this excess weight closes. If they roll greater than 52, it closes. It doesn't close. It says Damocles Mission from SPI TSR 1983. Appeared in Ares Magazine, number 13. It's got a lot going for it. I like how you can evolve the map as you go, and it captures the premise of exploring an artifact, and you got a lot of variations because the tiles you choose, etc., your mission you set up, the equipment you take. Obviously it's limited in replayability because it's a paragraph game. Eventually get familiar with paragraphs, but I think it'd probably take you a lot of playing it to know what is what there. It's fairly straightforward to play. I like that it's unique and it's set up. You make strategic decisions there about what to investigate, what tools to use. So I think it's got a lot going for it. It's a little bit simplistic. I'm glad I have it, and I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Thanks a lot.